All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Lonely. It's also okay to call me Brooke because that is my name. Today I'm going to be doing Castlevania Portrait of Ruin on the newly released Dominus collection. It's the first time we've had this at GDQ because it came out this August. Yeah, I'm going to be running Richter mode. Richter is the alternate character who you unlock once you beat the game and fight him in the main story. Before we start, I would like to give a shout out to my brother Omar, who did beat cancer since I did my last GDQ run. Can we get a round of applause? Yeah. And I always do the purple girl for the icon. And we're good on time? All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go!
Good luck. That cursor's gonna go away in a second, don't worry.
All right, so not only are we piloting Richter in this mode, but we do have Maria Renard who is with us. And this is pretty much her iteration from Rondo of Blood, which released in 1993. We have this dragon, and she's actually going to be able to pilot and summon a whole bunch of magical creatures, able to help and buff these two along the way. And I think Brooke is going to be doing a little bit of a showcase of these.
You got the dragon, the firebirds, the kitty cat, and then the Mario Kart blue shell. The blue shell, what it does, because it's not apparently obvious, is it raises your defense. Only going to use it once, but it does have a use. So yeah, in case you can tell, Richter is very fast. He slides along the ground. The fastest way to move around is slide switching, which is what I'm doing there. Switching between Maria and Richter on the ground.
Yeah, and, if you can see in like some potential rooms where Maria sends out that dragon does a lot of damage, just like it does in Rondo of Blood. So it kind of clears the way for Richter and Maria to do the movement and slide canceling thing, while this is absolutely amazing actually to watch. This is one of my favorite stage musics in the game, actually.
Yeah, they definitely opened with a banger.
And then Richter isn't without his, upgrades from Symphony of the Night and all that, but they've kind of been tweaked in a way that sort of like normalizes the utility of the character, kind of forcing you to use even extra moves that they'd added to his arsenal in this game.
Yep, you're gonna see the vault kick a lot. It's the second fastest form of movement after slide switching, but sometimes, like here for instance, I need to have Maria shooting out a dragon. So I just bulk kick with Richter instead. Maria also, a different property she has is she has a much faster natural MP regen. So a lot of the time when I don't need to be moving, I will be on Maria for that MP regen.
Yeah, it's especially useful for boss quick kill techniques as well, like especially later on in the game where the bosses are incredibly tanky with health. Maria just has the ability to not only evade with her small hitbox, but continually stack on damage while regaining that MP regeneration.
All right, so we're coming up on the first boss. Our objective in this run basically is to beat all of the main portraits to unlock the Bronner boss fight, which unlocks the final boss fight. There's no major skips in this. We do have to play through basically the entire game. All right, so here's the first boss. All I will say is I would suggest not blinking. But yeah, let me lock in for this real quick. All right, good fight.
So the main technique for killing these bosses quickly, we're going to be trying to do a form of what's called damage stacking. And so we have 4 instances, or rather 4 sources of damage, which will mainly be like the whip, the dove, the dragon, and like holy water and some other things along the way. But the 4th attack, if they all hit at the same time, will actually unlock the damage tick to every single frame. So that just completely obliterates bosses' HP bars.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be making my way to the next portrait. JD, if you got anything for me, now would be an excellent time.
Absolutely. We just got a $25 donation from Kikoman that says, I've always supported AGDQ, but as this is my first year in recovery from cancer, it means even more to me. Love Castlevania Portrait of Ruin and love you all. Thank you all for what you do. Do I have time for one more?
Yeah, you can read a couple more, actually.
Okay, we have $50 from the Paladin Breakstar, which is, oh boy, here we go. What is a marathon? A wonderful little pile of speed runs. but enough talk. Play Castlevania. Thank you so much for that $50 supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, Paladin.
You can do one or two more.
Yes,
Quite a
of
ways off to
course.
this next portrait.
Yes, no worries. We have a $25 donation from High Def Low Main saying, hey, Lonely, it's great to see you on the main stage. I've been looking forward to this run for months, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, you are doing amazing, Lonely, and so much love for you here in the donations and in the chat. We also have a $10 donation from Rain that says, I haven't played much Castlevania, but I've spent many years watching friends play it. Also, any bonus run is a good run. Gotta get my donation in for that incentive. And that's right, folks, we are just over $1,000 away from meeting that Ease 8 any % run. Let's make it happen!
Yeah, you definitely want to see that. I watched that Ease run at RPG Limit Break, I guess technically last year. It was definitely a treat. So going to the next portrait here, we're going to skip most of it by abusing Richter's uppercut to go through the back entrance pretty much. But the next boss I definitely wanted to safety save for because it is Astarte, probably the biggest run killer in early game. Very random fight. She can stand still and do basically nothing, or she can troll and kill me. So let's see how this goes. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is what we want to see, the temptation, because it won't affect Maria. That's what we want to not see. Nice.
That was a really, really good behavior by that boss.
And I'm on good HP, so I can skip that heal. So yeah, one thing worth noting about Richter mode is that there's only 2 ways to heal, or I guess technically 3. You can pick up an HP max up, you can go to a save point, or you can use Maria's Guardian Knuckle, which we will talk about in a little bit. But yeah, all you need to know is there's not a lot of healing available in this run, so we have to manage our HP pretty tightly.
It's extremely common for these extra modes of Castlevania to include like really over-tuned characters with a lot of really great features, but they are eventually glass cannons, especially in the speedrun aspect where we're not really going for, grinding for levels per se. So later on in the game, a lot of things are going to be doing a lot of damage to us. And so damage mitigation and that HP generation that we can have is definitely crucial. And this is actually a really way that you can use Richter's movement to clear those obstacles, namely in this portrait right here.
Our next room's pretty tricky. Need to blade dash through the fire. Nice. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, the blade dash, one of the moves that I was talking about earlier that were kind of nerfed or kind of like, toned down, normalized, what you can say. So like you can go through those obstacles, but much like unlike Symphony of the Night, you're not going to be able to spam it with its recovery and kind of like, retain its invulnerability frames in that aspect.
It doesn't go through enemies and it costs MP, so pretty heavily nerfed.
Yeah.
All right, going into Legion here, I'm going to be using the Firebirds. Bobby, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the Firebirds come in really greatly. Like when you activate them, it comes out in that really V-shaped pattern. Much like in Rondo of Blood, it's got a really good reach and really good damage. It'll actually hit pretty well if you time it right, just kind of like chaining that invulnerability. It's really good for Maria to move around here, and it's just really versatile for her to use as a weapon as well. Like mainly, if you're not using damage stacking for these bosses, Maria will definitely get the job done.
Yeah, there is a way to damage stack Legion, but it's not really consistent yet. Oh. Maybe in the future. One tiny thing here is I opened the portrait, even though I'm not in the same vertical space as it. If you not same horizontal, sorry. I exposed myself as not knowing the difference between vertical and horizontal. Yeah, as long as you're on the same vertical space as a portrait, you can enter it. It's the only time it comes in the END, though. Here I'm going to be going for a hole-in-one. Easy.
Ooh!
Nice job.
You can probably fire off one donation while I make my way to and through this next portrait.
Absolutely. We've got a $50 donation from Heather Feather that says, I love GDQ so much. For my birthday week, I'll be donating all week. And that's right, that $50 donation gets you entered into today's prizes. And if you donate again later on this week, you'll get entered into even more prizes. And remember to put towards that incentive of your choice. Right now, any percent for Ease 8 is just $615 away. We're down in the 3 digits, everyone. Let's go!
Let's go, Twitch chat!
All right, something very important is coming up. Gotta ring the bell.
Yep.
I lost time to that, but it was totally worth it. You can probably fire off one or two more while we go through this portrait.
Of course, Lonely. Thank you so, so much. We have a $25 donation from Beef McCat that says, GDQ always boosts my drawing work productivity. All cozy in a wintry Wales, smiling as I watch the amazing runs. Best of luck to the runners, and thank you for all the hard work that the GDQ staff do. Thank you so much for that donation, Beef McCat. And a $100 donation from Binder News that says, I love LLK's art, such a cute mouse. Love all the art love that's coming in donations too. We saw that interview earlier with Ruby Heart. Got time for one more?
Yeah, one more before the boss.
We got a $5 donation from Nick that says, I don't know if you heard it yet today, but greetings from Germany. Less than 3. So many people watching from all around the world. Thank you so much for that $5 donation, Nick, supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
All right, it is a little extra safe here with that HP I'm on, but I am not risking it on Dagon. Probably the trolliest boss in first half. I'm going to be using Maria's Guardian Knuckle. Bobby, do you want to talk about what that is and what it entails?
Yeah, the Guardian Knuckle is pretty much it's a very powerful ability from Maria. It deals 2 instances of pretty heavy damage here. And as you can see, keeps her in the air and it deals a lot of, it costs a lot of MP, but with the fast innate MP regeneration of Maria, coupled with the amount of damage that you do with the doves, like, it is a quick piece of work for the magical girl.
Yeah, that was not the best pattern, but I handled it really well, so that was nice. So something we haven't mentioned yet is that Maria has a much smaller hitbox than Richter. So I'm going to be using that up here to squeeze through these succubus enemies and the ceiling.
Very nice vaults here. And like, I was mentioning this a little bit earlier before we went live, but Richter is very, very like the definitive edition of Richter in this game. People who might have played Rondo of Blood or even Symphony of the Night by Greater Extension might notice a bit of a stiffness to Richter. I mean, like, as OG Belmonts are, but in here, all of that is just basically unlocked. Like, you can control like the aerial momentum from a backflip, and that just astounds me.
And yeah, the uppercut, I saw a few people, or heard a few people popping off for it. Very, very fast. Probably the fastest uppercut in the entire series.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't cost any MP either. You can just spam it to your heart's content.
Take that, Albus. All right, next we got Sisters. Looking for not the Ice Sword. I said not the Ice Sword.
Yeah, there is a specific setup like manipulation if with the right opener.
Look over here, look over here. All right, good.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, now we are into the portrait rush. Basically 4 portraits right in a row that are dark versions of the portraits that we did before. This is where the run really amps up in difficulty. But while I'm going through this, you can read off 1 or 2 donations.
Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Marisa that says, had to donate for one of my favorite Castlevania games. Loved this as a kid. It definitely took me more than 35 minutes to complete, though. Don't feel bad. Lonely is one of the best experts here in the world and absolutely showing off some amazing tech.
Yeah, this is one of the harder categories, I would say, to get into because there's no healing. But something I'll mention is that if you're interested in running this game, the main characters, Jonathan and Charlotte, that was a cool tech.
Really, really good.
The main characters, Jonathan and Charlotte, are very accessible because they have an infinite healing glitch. So healing is not really something you have to worry about if you want to run a category with Jonathan and Charlotte. If you want to see a run, I ran at SGQ 2019, Jonathan, Charlotte, no out of bounds. If you want to see what that run looks like.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, like with the accessibility of it, because like what we kind of alluded to like earlier in the run was like later bosses are incredibly spongy with health.
And we are not.
Yes. Like this is very much you know, the glass cannon category, and we obviously as speedrunners have ways to deal consistent amounts of damage over time. Casually playing through this game, like with either character, especially that final boss, is just going to be painstakingly long for some. So we can definitely understand that. And we got the creature fight coming up.
Yeah, creature, probably the hardest boss aside from the final boss, at least for me. Gonna be going for more traditional damage stacks here. So you can see that huge stack of numbers above his head.
Yeah, they definitely gave him a lot of upgrades over the Soten iteration.
Nice fight.
Nicely done. Can I squeeze in really quick?
Yeah, you probably just won.
Yeah,
but,
we got a $25 donation from Kono Recon that says, more GDQ, please. And yes, more GDQ, please. We're less than $300 away for that bonus any percent run.
Let's make it happen. Yeah, Bramhall is a great runner. Like I said, I got to see his run at RPG Limit Break. It was really a treat. All right, so coming up is going to be the Worm Quick Kill. It's the hardest trick in the run. Nope. I actually got the hard part, but you can one-cycle this guy before he pops up out of the ground. Not a huge deal. Just a couple seconds.
But now we slowly sink into the abyss below. Lonely, what might be your like worst like boss in the game? Like that, did we already just
Yeah, probably
pass through it?
Creature, honestly.
Yeah.
Aside from the final boss. Creature can really be a jerk, but it went pretty well here.
Yeah, and safety saves are definitely like the ultimate key, especially in like a one-take marathon setting. Like again, these later bosses are just going to hit for
Check this
so
out.
much. Woo!
Woo!
So in this room, the ectoplasm spawned randomly. They mostly stayed out of my way, though, so that was good. Oops.
Yeah, gotta watch out for these jagged bones here.
Can I sneak in a donation while
Yeah,
we're
go for
platforming
it.
here? We have $50 from Amazing Toaster that says, because I know we're all missing it in this mode, Maria, Richter, Maria, Richter. Thank you so much for that donation.
Nice boost off the York. So what does poison do in this game? Is it just damage over time?
Damage and lowered stats. It can't kill you, though, unlike Circle of the Moon. So there was no real threat of dying. All right, into the next boss. Basically, a common theme with these Portrait Rush bosses is a lot of RNG. Makes this category kind of hard to grind for really good times, but there's also a lot of really intense execution. I'm going to be going for damage stacks on him. So these tiles are kind of what I didn't want to see. They do a lot of damage, over 100.
Yeah, Brooke
I don't like this. Okay.
Yeah, Brooke handled that incredibly well. Again, just using the size of Maria to her benefit. Also a really floaty double jump as well. And then that's really good.
Cool flash kick there to get ahead of the cycle.
Yeah, as you can see, we're a bit on the HP right
The
here.
Medusa Head Classic.
Oh yeah, you can't have Castlevania without random Medusa Head. Just
Yeah, I mean, of
ruin
course,
it.
what would it be without a random Medusa Head?
A miserable little pile of secrets. I'm like. Do I have time to sneak in a couple of loving donations?
Real quick, I
Yes.
just hope you're not in first place because I got a blue shell.
No worries. $10 from Zick that says, "Hey, Lonely, good
Hi,
luck
Zick.
on the run. Always glad to see you running at marathons." Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you, Sick. You can do one or two more.
Yeah, so much love for you here inside the chat. We've got a $25 donation from Renaissance Joe that says, "A Castlevania Portrait of Ruin haiku for you. Portrait of Ruin, Richter mode active, so no Jonathan. Charlotte." Much love to everyone involved in putting together this incredible event. Incentive goes to the Ease 8 bonus run. Let's keep working together. You're all amazing, less than 3, and that incentive is $125 away. So close.
Yeah, no, come on, let's go.
Yeah. Let's get it met by the end of this run. I believe we can do it.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Medusa, really scary boss. She's going to kill me in a few hits. I'm going to go for a really unique damage stack. Do you want to talk about this, Bobby?
Yeah, well, we have to wait for a bit of a coin flip first. The right pattern.
right, won the
to
coin
release.
flip.
Yeah, there we go. So the reason that this works is that we get the hand cross ability, which actually has 2 hitboxes. So that plus doves plus dragons is a really unique damage stack that can really
Another
melt
one?
that bar.
Another one?
Can we make it happen again? Grande Cruz! There we go.
All right, final portrait. I switched to Axe. This is the only time Axe sees any usage in the run. But while I go through this is like your last chance to read donations for the run. Because once I get into final boss gauntlet, it's gonna be getting real.
It's gonna be go time for sure. We have a $25 donation from Jason B that says, "GDQ for the win. Go Lonely, blowing my mind with how fast this is moving. Bobby is everywhere." Thank you so much for that generous donation, Jason. And we have a $25 donation from Reese Wynn that says, "Donating a second time this week. Looking forward to the Lacrimosa of Donna bonus run, and let's get this and help the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We are $75 away. Who's gonna do it?"
$75 snipe. I can smell it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think we did it! Thank you all so much for getting that bonus run. More GDQ, supporting PCF. Amazing, amazing job, everybody.
You folks are all awesome.
So here I'm going to use the Axe. What is that name? Nyx? That's Persona 3. But these Nyxes are really dangerous enemies, and there's kind of not a super good way to get rid of that one. So I do want to give credits to Hetfield 90, who is the world record holder for this. Also, low-key, like one of the best speedrunners of all time. He taught me basically everything I know about this category. Also the former world record holder for Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. And taught me everything I know about that category. So yeah, big shouts to Hetfield 90. And here we go. Final boss gauntlet time. First is Werewolf.
Trying to get those stacks off. And it only helps that Werewolf is a really big hitbox to begin with.
Great fight.
Nice.
I'm gonna go back and save before the final bosses. So yeah, our time is almost up, friends. I can't believe how fast this went. Wow. I'd like to quickly, before we get into the final bosses, thank everyone for showing up in the stream room. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks to Bobby and JD for the comms and hosting. But yeah, this is Bronner, not the final boss, but the game would trick you into thinking he is. And he loves talking. Bro is a certified yapper. This is what we know him to not say, because when he's in his This Is Art, he cannot die. So I can just whip him, and I also can't do any damage stacks on him. because he's moving around so erratically.
It's almost very fitting that he's in the portrait, and you're playing the characters in the game where in the level, the mini boss is a portrait. I'm sorry, I'm just geeking out about Rondo of Blood still.
Oh, please. Okay, good.
Nice.
Was able to get him before he went into the portrait again. All right. So everything up until now has been pretty fun, but it's time for things to get real. It's time for the final boss. I am going to safety save, but I'm not going to be talking much during this because this is maybe the hardest final boss in like any Castlevania speedrun.
I would argue so.
Yeah.
Especially in this specific category where both of your characters are glass cannon. So phase 1 is going to be a sort of like duo fight, a 2v2, if you will, between Death, Dracula, and the two of you. Each of their attacks, especially Death's attacks, are incredibly heinous. They are incredibly powerful, and Brooke's gonna be listening for some cues from Dracula in order to figure out which of the attacks from him to dodge.
It's fine.
It's going to be mostly a bit of a visual cue from Death. The Guardian Knuckle will be really key in this when it comes to laying on damage and also that slight MP and HP regeneration. And like I said, it's going to be a pretty long fight. So Brooke is going to be locked in for the long haul. And then when we're coming up to phase 2, I'll explain a little bit of that. We'll let her lock in, and that will be the end of Portrait of Ruin.
We'll say that was intentional.
We got more instances of Guardian Knuckle, just topping up that HP as much as possible. Just using the small hitboxes of Maria to weave in and out of the attacks.
Phase 1.
Now here comes phase 2.
All right, now it's time to really lock in.
All right, so yeah, so for phase 2, Dracula's going to transform into a very demonic being, as he does, and we're going to want to do a little bit of a manipulation by going behind him and forcing a sort of turn. And this will cause him to do a fire attack, which will be really slow, and it'll be at a right moment, or rather a precise positioning to lay on some damage without any incursion of threat. Now, this is going to be what's known as the loop. So we're going to be doing this for a pretty long amount of time, but any sort of mess up will incur another attack that we do not want to see, and that will just eat up a lot more time, to which where you can't just deal damage to Dracula within this attack. So let's lock in and let's wish Brooke the best of luck as we finish out Portrait of Ruin.
Yeah, and time will be, one Drac dies, there's a white flash, and then there's a white fade out. Time will end at that second white fade out. I'm out of MP, it's fine. Should be soon. And twirl on him, twirl on him, twirl on him, twirl on him, and time.
Jeez. Oh,
that's a little stressful. That got the heart rate up, just a little bit. But
You did splendid.
that's a 27.
Brooke.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
Thanks for watching. I want to give shout outs to all the Castlevania runners. The Dominus collection has been a real blessing for our community. Lots of new runners, new tricks. Ecclesia has been completely turned on its head. Maybe someday we can show that off. The Dominus collection has completely changed this game. It's great. It's on Steam, it's on PS5, it's on Xbox. I want to give shout outs to Curry the Kid, who is currently battling cancer himself. He was the director of this game. So shout outs to Curry the Kid. Get well soon. Shoutouts to Jupiter Climb, who is basically single-handedly carrying the Castlevania community right now. Shoutouts to him. And yeah, if you'd like to see more from me, you can follow me on twitch.tv/lonelysr with 3 underscores, Twitter, lonelysr with 3 underscores, Blue Sky, lonelysr with, I think, no underscores. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming a lot of Order of Ecclesia when I get home from GDQ, and I'm also going to be working on my endless pivot to be an RPG speedrunner with Mother 3 and Persona 3 Reload speedrun. So if any of that sounds interesting, be sure to drop me a follow. Follow Bobbeigh, you probably already do, but yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks to everyone who supports me every day, and continue enjoying the rest of the marathon.